welcome back to Hot Topics with SparkBC. I'm Erin Riva, owner and operator of SparkBC, of course. We've got our two fabulous trainers with us today. We've got Dave Chevalier out in Chilliwack. How's it going, Dave?
Good, Erin, thank you.
Nice to see you again. And then we've got Ted Gilbert out in the interior. How's it going?
Hey, Erin. Hey, everybody.
Good to see you too. So today we're going to be talking about LEDs and Section 30 and specifically wiring of recessed luminaires. So I think, Ted, you've got some great photos for us to share today. So why don't we hop in there?
All right, let's do it here. Yeah, just a couple of comments we'd like to make on LEDs because we still have some contractors and electricians out there a little bit confused about these modular LEDs. So here's a photo of the box that they come in, ultra thin wafer downlight, common to see now. This one's approved for a wet location, it's right on the box. So bathrooms, no problem with those. Remember though that the LED is approved, the light fixture part is, but the component box is not approved for a wet location. It has to be in a dry location up in a ceiling or something somewhere similar. So that's something to think about when you do these things. Let's move over another page. Here's the label that comes on it. So it's once again suitable for wet locations. It's inherently protected, so it's got an over temperature device in it. The blinking light may indicate overheating. If there's a vapor barrier, must be suitable for 90 degrees C. Minimum 90 degrees C supply conductors. Dave, what can we do if I want to put one of these lights in and it's some of the older NMD7 or NMD3 wiring, and I can't run it directly into this box, obviously. What can we do?
Well, you'd have to put in a junction box somewhere that was accessible and change the wiring method to it.
Yeah.
To NMD90.
Yeah, that would work for me too. And if it's an existing ceiling, if we're going to allow you to put a light fixture up in there, I don't see why we might not allow you to just put a junction box in the ceiling as well. As long as you can get out through the 4-inch hole for the light fixture, you got to be able. It's got to be accessible, and splice it into some 90-degree NMD90. And then connect this light fixture up that way. I think that would be suitable. Do you agree, Dave?
Absolutely. Yep. It meets all the criteria.
Yeah, I think so. Last thing, maximum of 8 number 12 AWGs through branch circuit conductors suitable for 90 degrees permitted in the box. So this is an older one, and I'm thinking they've changed because there is no way that you are going to get 8 number 12. You're not even going to get 4 number 12s in this tiny little connection box. Remember now, you have to be able to get this thing out through the 4-inch hole. That's where the LED fixture gets mounted in the drywall. That's the way these things work. So if you're going to feed through, you might get 2 14-2s, and I would definitely come in through the same knockout. So that you'll be able to feed the light down, this thing down, and pull it out. If you bring a 14-2 in, one in each end of this junction box where the knockouts are, then you're going to have problems getting this thing out through the hole in the ceiling. And also, when you put 2 14-2s into it, if you do, tape them together, because it makes it much easier to loop the wires up into the ceiling and coil them, and then also to get this thing out of the ceiling when this driver ultimately fails, you almost always will eventually, and it makes it way easier for you to work with this equipment. So on that note, here's one that we had to reject. So the contractor or the electrician was still thinking, you know, this is a junction box and it's got to be secured. And you can see that he's done a great job of screwing this down inside the floor space above the ceiling where the LED is going in. The problem is you're never going to get it out. Dave, the only option would be?
You're going to have to put an access hatch in there so somebody can get up and get at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't see anybody wanting to do that in their living room ceiling. So these things are totally approved to be connected after the drywall goes up below the ceiling. And once you've made your connections, you tuck this thing up in and it lays on top of the drywall. And then the little 12-volt feeder wire rolls up off of the LED lighting itself, and you pop that into the ceiling and you're done. There's no requirement for this thing to be screwed or attached in the ceiling. And that's all I really have on it. Dave, anything you want to add? Oh, here's the code rule. Here we go. Dave, you want to read through that?
A supply connection box that's an integral part of the luminaire shall be accessible in accordance with Rule 12.3014, and if access is through an opening for the mounting the luminaire, meet the following requirements. The electrical components of the luminaire shall be capable of being extracted through the opening for service, and the components shall include ballast transformers, thermal protectors, and conductor connections in the supply connection box, and the cover of the supply connection box shall be capable of being removed by a hand tool held below the ceiling.
Yeah. So there's your rules that allow you to just tuck this thing up and put it in the ceiling. This rule also applies to the older style H-frame brackets that you'd mount up there, where you could take the older style recessed fixture out, the pot light as we always called them, drop that down, and you could still reach up through that ring and get into the components that were up in the ceiling, including the supply connection. So that's it, Aaron. We just wanted to bring that up to let the electricians out there know, guys, there's no problem with this thing just laying up inside the ceiling there and doing the work afterwards. In fact, if I was an electrician and doing a rough wire, I don't think I'd even want to wire this thing up and leave the little lighting cord attached up there. You know, between the time I wire that in and the time the drywall goes up, it could get damaged or something. Better off to just mark the location on the ceiling, cut the holes out, fish your hand up in, pull the wire up, tuck it in the ceiling, connect the LED, and you're done. Anyways, I'll give it back to Aaron. Thanks very much for watching in on this. Talk to you soon.
Great. Thank you so much, Ted. I really appreciate it. And Dave, love having you weigh in as always. And thanks to all of you out there for tuning in. We love having you come and check out our hot topics. We'll have lots more coming for you in the coming weeks. And we'll catch you next time. If there's any questions, be sure to put your comments down below or send us an email at info@sparkbc.ca. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.